Hello everyone, how very good of you to join, and welcome back to Foundation once again. We're starting this episode with our new bailiff right away that we have over here in my manor house. There it is, and this guy has some interesting actions here that we have not explored yet, and that is the influence over here. So for a bunch of gold coin, bread or stone, we can improve our trade routes, right? We can improve our reputation and our relationship, and we can also influence the labor estate in your favor. Let's go ahead and do this. This gives me 10 influence with the labor estate for 25 coin. What? That's quite a bit, right? For not that much money. And the bailiff is now going to do that job for us, hopefully diligently. Talking about bread and food in general, we do have a bunch of problems here right now. So berries is dropping. That's pretty obvious. It's at 158 now. It was at almost 300 not too long ago. So we do have a problem here. Also, my meat is not as high anymore as it would like to have it. Fish is still fine, but don't forget we are selling fish to some extent. So in this case, that's okay for now. We got 3 fisheries working here. This guy here is actually full on fish. We do have the granary close by. This is also full on fish. What we can do with the granary too is I can add these granary depots. This adds additional storage area to a granary, and that's one of those new techs that we have. So I can, or these new advancements, I could, for example, have this depot. That's pretty neat. It doesn't need to be attached to the building itself, right? So you can just have it anywhere else here, like on the other side of the road, for example. And I think in this case here, we could just very well have it here. I could also safely squeeze it in here just beside this building. It will lose its fences, but that's okay. The other side is fine too, like just somewhere here. And I'm actually going to go with this over there. Now in that case, this hopefully adds a bit more capacity. So we have a total capacity of 400. If we're at 100, as far as I know, what we will need to do here is I need to add it a second time, right? And only then will it stock up another time. Because as far as I can see, 100 is the maximum per tab that we have. So everything else needs then more storage basically. The same goes with my normal here, with my warehouses. As we can see, wool is 100 here. And then we also have another wool 100 over there. So we get lots of wool in, by the way. Just that I noticed it, 279. And that also leads to lots of cloth and common clothes especially. Now berries it is. We have 8 unemployment, so this is okay to afford us another berry hut. Over here, we already have a bit of a gathering area, right, with the stone, the iron, the farms. It's looking like a safe spot to me to just continue with another berry gathering hut. I'm going to have this one probably a bit further over here, so that it still has a road access. And with that, we can have more berries over there. This is, though, I think not gonna be enough for me, at least. We have plenty of space here, and berries are just very, very important. By the way, there's something over here. Hunter's hut. This is not being built yet. Someone should tackle this problem. It will also make sense to have it here by my sheepies outside. So there's lots of gathering huts already. There's also some normal people living here, some farmers, right? The lowest people, the serfs, and they're fine with having their workplace right next to them. By the way, we've reached 1000 coin. We're making a lot of money right now. My biggest income is taxes. We have doubled that in the last episode from 110 to 216 right now. With that also we can actually click on the mandate up here. We can also continue with promoting more villages. I would like to do this because this is also improving their work efficiency, and that's one of the most important things. Also, it's just costing me 20 coin, which at this point is really not that much of a deal, right? Patrollers, upgrading a bunch of them can't hurt because they are getting more efficient with that. My tax collectors, that's super important. The village priest, that's important. The weavers, that's important too. That's all of them. And as we can see, we also have a whole bunch of people now that we can promote to citizens. Especially the tailors would be happy with that. The tax collector, let's go ahead and get us a tax collector. And let's upgrade 2 more people here to tailors to citizen level 2. So that's a lot of additional citizens now. And by the way, have we looked at the taxation of citizens at the moment? It's low. We could push it, but oh yeah, that would be a nice push. but we're not providing a lot of needs right now to them, right? So in that case, I'd rather keep it a bit lower right now, as long as we're not providing everything for them. Even though, you know, we're making so much money now, also thanks to the mining side tax, that I don't care about high taxation at the moment. We're fine as it is. In the meantime, this biggest construction that we have going right now is coming along, the Inn Lodge. So finally a place for travelers to rest and drink a bit of a berry beer, berry wine as we have it. And yeah, just enjoying the hospitality of Sleepy Hollow. Still gonna take some time, right? It's, holy cow, 140 planks we need in total for this. It's a lot. It's a lot. There is going to be the lodging in here and the innkeeper that we can produce in. As we can see, this one is then generating gold coins for us. That's an income, a direct income that we have here. Perfect. Now, I heard of sheep falling into the water on these cliffs, so let's also add a smaller fence. We can do this with a nice fencing tool like this, so we don't need to build them one by one, luckily. And this fence hopefully makes sure that no one falls in any longer. Oh, wow, that costs a lot though, but we have it. I'm always happy when I find new sources to consume my wood, because we chop down a lot of wood right now, a lot of trees. Okay, there's another wave of immigrations coming in right now. And yeah, berries are still very low. But for that, we do have now additional foragers. And we continue onwards with this area here once again. There's two things that I would like to do here. First one is a new granary, because that area here is going to be more important for us. Right now we're already getting the berries here, the berries here. There's going to be definitely two more berry collectors out there. We have the wheat and the flour here, so there's a lot of production in general that I want to use here. Yeah, and we definitely don't want to have people running around all the time through the whole town just to get some berries. So a granary just beside the flour mill here makes sense. So there's also going to be more food processing than here. And there's another thing I would like to unlock now, and that's something that's pretty potentially very profitable for Sleepy Hollow: dairy farming, right? So with that we can produce milk, and with milk we produce cheese. And if I check it out, what cheese is valuable, it's quite valuable, right? So we can sell cheese to Northbury for 5 coin each piece. That's a lot. So if we get a good production up and running there, we can make a nice profit out of cheese, while also providing another source of refined food to my people. Workforce might be the biggest issue here, but we're getting a lot of immigration all the time, so it should be fine. Let's have a look. 30 planks a dairy farm costs me. The cheese maker we can have then in the city, I guess. The dairy farm, as we can see, is a bit polluted. Of course, it smells like dung, most likely. And let's have this dairy farm then somewhere up here. We could have it like here right away. We don't need more sheep farms for the foreseeable future, so I'd rather just have my dairy farm somewhere here. Is this too far outside? There would be then another road going over, or we have another road here. I don't want to cliff this one in too much, right? So probably should have it a bit closer. Somewhere here just beside the fields, or if we need more fields, I can still have them somewhere else as well, over there. Let's have it here for now, and we should also start with fencing if I want to make sure that people are not just going through that, right? Getting a lot of these delighted visitors in. That's just a side bonus effect, I think, of a lot of people visiting us with those fairs. And the reason for that is I really don't want to have too many people clogging my fields here. So we're going to build a fence just along my farming area here that goes then to this road here, right? So I'm making sure that they're not going like this. I would hate that. So it's definitely going to be a straight road over there to the dairy farm. And what we also need at the dairy farm, of course, is the cheesemaker. And this is a building. Oh, it's polluted. Why? That's strange. I thought it would be fine. We could have it just here by the granary, right? Somewhere over there. It's not bad, right? If I place it like this, we should not affect the housing there. But potentially there's going to be more housing here at some point. So I'm going to have it right behind the granary over there. That's a safer area. And the field should still be fine. There you go. Didn't affect it that much. Then I also have my lumber camp here. That's a bit too far away from any kind of trees now. So we can take just the whole bunch, right, and move it probably over here somewhere. Because we need to get rid of all the trees here too. The fence has already been finished. That was quick. Those sheepies live a safer life now. The next granary has been finished. Let's assign 2 people to that right away. And we're going to say now here, take in the berries. That's pretty important. Take in the... You could also say flour. But I guess since the bakery is down here, bread could also make sense. I can collect this. And I can already reserve something for the cheese, because that's going to be something that we need here soon. And lo and behold, our in-lodge has been finished. Wait a second, there's still something missing here. The public lounge, but the in-lounge is finished. The lodge, and we can have now an innkeeper, right? And houses up to 2 visitors when fully staffed. So this is now then generating money. That's not a lot though. Really? Only 2? In-lounge. There's my buildings for that. But it says the capacity is 15. Okay. Probably not fully finished yet. I hope. At the very least, my dairy farm is finished. So we can now go in and say, yeah, get me the cows out. I'm going to make this one full right away. Adequately sized, very good, at the edge of town. Can we, by the way, improve it then? No, right now there's no improvement for the dairy farm. Anyway, that's done. Now we're working on the cheesemaker already, so we'll just see how that turns out. What we'll also need then, of course, yeah, more market stalls, since we do have more goods. And we'll also need market stalls with the same goods multiple times from now on, I think, because consumption is really high. And one market tender can't keep up with demand usually, right? So these tend to be very low on capacity. Now, it's no surprise that with a bigger church, a bigger population, there's also more attention focused on Sleepy Hollow, and that means that, yeah, monks would like to settle here. And that's why we are starting now with a monastery building. I've been thinking about a location for it that would look nice, and yeah, I think, as I've already mentioned, this one here is probably my favorite one, because it goes up the hill, right? And up here you have then a beautiful big area surrounded by forests, just outside of the city center, really, where we can have that going. For this, however, what I can see is we do need to, yeah, start purchasing another territory. It's gonna be this one. I'm not entirely sure yet where we start with the monastery. It's gonna be a pretty big building. We can still move it around. That's why we want to start simple, right? A monastery is super expensive. But first things first, let's go in. Clergy. We are very close to the maximum influence range here that we can go for, right? So 49. So we should really start spending it, honestly. And we can do this now by getting the monastery itself unlocked with the first buildings. Also, rustic church architecture. This gives me some additional stone architecture. Now we can go for the main church then. For the, yeah, well, at some point cathedral, you might call it. Next in line, we have these ones down here. There's really a whole bunch of them. Let's start by just purchasing a few things so I'm not capping anymore. That's the cloister. We definitely need one of these, right? There's the treasury and the hospitium. So those things are fine, though we're not building them yet, because when we look at the monastery right away, we can see that those things are expensive. We're going to need a lot of stone and a lot of planks for each one of these modules. It's not going to be a simple task. For this, let's check out. We have, well, not a lot of unemployment rate right now. Perhaps there's someone waiting. There's also quest building a monastery. Yes, thank you very much. The most faithful among your villagers would like to guide you through the first steps. We accept monks. We accept both monks and nuns, and we accept nuns. Let's go with only monks for this one. I don't think having one for both genders in the same monastery is going to be, yeah, that helpful for my chest monks. And in that case, we're going to have them up here. So we are also going to build a nun monastery, no doubt about that. But I really want to have that separated, because I think that's what, how it was primarily. A mixed monastery is something I don't really hear that often. Don't quote me on that, though. Now, in that case, what we still want to do before we do that, though, is, yeah, we want to prepare a bigger stone industry. So we do have a few stonecutter camps There is another one that we can use up here, and I definitely want to go ahead and do this. Let's just check it out. By the way, I'm super angry at this one. They're not using the road that I'm designating them to. I don't know why. I think it's because the wheat farm, the workers, they're going already over there for harvesting, right? So there was already a path going for it, and they just reinforced that path. Yeah, it's looking like that now. Okay, we could build a fence along this path, but there's no way I can get rid of that anymore. So we'll just see, right? At least the cows are working. At least the milk is flowing. I'm still waiting on a bit of cheese. Now, stonecutter camp. This one's not being used yet. Let's go ahead and get us another stonecutter camp. I'm going to have this one right here by the fields. Right, so there's going to be another road then forming here. And that's number 1. Do we need more? There's no stone here though, so it would need a lot of transportation. This is already something we use. There's lots of stone here, so I think it's fine for the moment. And what I also would like to do is, honestly, let's just build us another storage warehouse over here somewhere, because we already have the granary. So it makes sense to me to also have now a storehouse somewhere here. This will add then also the building materials not too far away from that construction. Very good. And also, you learn Davenport is imposing a new taxation law on traded goods. The details are a mystery, but you know it yields considerable profits without impacting commerce. If you were to crack its secret, such a tax could greatly benefit your village. Trade 1000 coin with Davenport. We get a new edict out of this. Alright. Davenport, Davenport, Davenport. Down here you're a kingdom. And what would you purchase? Bread. Okay, bread and pigs. Pigs is something boars. Boars is something I don't have that much. Not the best goods. Honey is something we can get in the monastery. Is there a time limit? There is no time limit. So bread is probably what we're going here primarily right now with it. We got the bread. We got 120 bread. So I can say whenever we are above 120 bread, you can sell it. Let's increase the limit for this. While the cheesemaker is still under construction, I want to prepare this whole area for our monastery at some point. The thing is though, you know, there's no way for me to hide trees. So the only way of seeing how I build something is by getting rid of the trees. Otherwise I cannot see my modules or my buildings and stuff like that. So we have the lumber camp here. The lumber camp is going to be a central part here, right? So not only does it already provide a path that it goes up there, I'm also going to move the lumber camp now a bit further up, by the way. There you go. And we're going to increase its size because I really want to have as many people possible here as I can. So we do have the stewing post. That's a few more things. We have the snoring post. There it is, a drinking post. So it's gonna be a whole bunch of camps here that we have just beside the main one. Probably then also just make it here in the back then. 2, let's make, yeah, 2 are only allowed. Okay. Then we have some storage that I would like to add because we want to have as much logs as possible being stored as well from all of this. And then probably napping post. That's possible though. To have even more, right? And then a wooden wagon here. This is basically, even if we don't see it yet, this is the very first step towards a monastery, right? So you need to start with that. You need to start with cutting away the trees. I'm also preparing my step here by purchasing this territory, and probably it's enough for now. Let's just wait it out. It's enough. Let's purchase this territory and continue with cutting the trees here. That's basically that. Now, the lumber camp will be able to store a lot of logs, but it's not going to be enough. So I also want to have my storehouse. We have it now set up here. Very good. We already have a lot of wood though. So I need to find ways of also getting rid of wood somehow, right? That would be, yeah, not that easy. By the way, we finished the cheesemaker. Let's assign 2 people to that right away. We're full on milk. I might even ramp it up to 3 and let's just see if that is enough or not, right? Okay, that lumber camp hut seems to be blocked somehow. I don't see that. Why should access be blocked for this? I think they might be stuck in here, but I'm not entirely sure. Shouldn't be blocked though. It's available in all. Okay, there it is. Now it's working again. Perfect. Okay, then we have our warehouse. I'm going to assign another 2 people to that. And yeah, we're starting by basically also getting us lots of wood in here. And oh, we have lots of planks. That's neat. The granary is already providing the cheese space now. And let's just ramp it up on wood. Hopefully we're getting some wood quests again. I might also just build some additional fencing to get rid of woods. So the steps have already been taken now. We do have enough stone now coming in, right? So the next stonecutter camp is working. Still has room for more. And we are also now providing a huge area where we can chop down all the trees. This is another major step now towards that big building. It's gonna take a long time. It's work for generations. Lodging travelers. Where we travel passes by, pleasantly surprised to find lodging. They remark that no one along the route knew any inn was open. Relieved by the discovery, they ask if they may share the news. Yes, spread the word. More travelers, please. So we have the public lounge has 10 attendees. And oh yeah, very good. We can house up to 15 visitors now when fully staffed. Perfect. So now it's fully finished and it has plenty of space. Finally, the first cheese is coming in, so I would like to start now in another market area, and that is over here, and in the center we're going to have some ornaments then as a little plaza. So here we can now go ahead and start with the next food stalls. We're going to need a bunch of them once again because, as I said, demand is really high at this point, so I definitely want to have, just check it out, one, add a second one here too, right? On the other side we have number 2. Can I add it? Looks perhaps a bit cramped. There you go, much better. Very good. And look at that, this is 120 wood. I'm super excited about that. Let's also have some stalls. So this is there is some wooden stalls here. Right, and then on the other side we do have food stalls as well. Something like that. Let's also check out some trees perhaps. One big tree here. Even though we should not add too many trees really. Take away your view or something. And a minor decoration here in the form of bushes. And I could also think about having some benches here and there. There you go. And let's build all of this for now. It's gonna take some time anyway. Going to also consume lots of wood. There's also some additional things here that don't make sense anymore in the city area. So I'm going to have them right next to the road, like this one. This sign here, I don't know why it's here anyway. Doesn't make sense. Belonging to the market over there. That's where we should move it, and with that we have a bit of a space there as well. Speaking about that space, let's have a look. We do have now the tier 3 decorations available. Purchase them, and they also open up the tier 4 decorations. Let's also get them in, so we have enough coin to afford all of this. And let's just check it out. Whole bunch of beautiful new trees, by the way, very strange looking things. And all the way over here we do have fountains. Hooray. And one of them costs me not that much. I mean, 245 coin, of course, is a lot, right? But having a fountain is, of course, showing the wealth of my city. We do have different types of, fountains. These two here are the best ones, I think. This one costs a bit more. So I might have this one here in the center. Definitely also want to have some benches. Oh, they're immediately using them. And while we're in the process of beautifying this whole area, let's also finally add the building that I've locked quite some time ago, the Pavior's Yard. That cost me the 200 coin. Now I'm not thinking that much about that anymore. We can place it and have someone then, you know, paving roads and stuff like that. Definitely not want to have it too central. So we do have a bit of space here still behind the butcher. And just beside my storehouse is where we're storing stone and stuff like that. So it makes sense to me to have this building somewhere here. Where's the main road here, by the way? Okay, there's also this road. We could have it right here. Or we could have it right here. I think this is better. The first stalls are available. So I would like to start right away with providing the resources. This is all one unit, right? So we can see that. Wool for the bishop. That sounds great. We have 240 wool. He wants 200 wool. Holy cow. Okay. That's a lot. But I'm fine with that. And let's just check it out. We have berries. We have fish in addition. Definitely cheese. I might consider cheese 2 times. And then we have our goods storage. We have lots of clothes. So I'm going to add that. And the wares. I think we don't have that many wares. No. I think 1 ware shop is fine for now. So let's assign 4 market tenders right away. And they're providing now the goods. There's also this little corner there. I just love these because they give you an opportunity of adding some decorations, right? It's part of the tavern. So we can just then squeeze in something here and also increase the splendor of the tavern, basically. How's it looking up here? Yeah, well, the trees are going away, as we can see. And we can assign now more people to that. So let's make it full. With that, we have full employment again. And really speed it up here. Also, we're not really capping on logs right now since we're consuming lots of planks. And since we have enough planks available again, I might also consider selling more once more too, since they do provide a nice income. We are already selling though everything above 25. That is definitely too low. Let's go ahead with 100, but everything above that we can sell for now. There's no one that purchases though logs, right? So planks is the only thing. Anyone else that would purchase planks? Not really. Oh, this one here, but that's king points. We don't have them. And only the freshest cheese we have now available as well. Bread and cheese and meat. That's basically all you need in life. A bit of wine might be great as well. And what is going on here? Is that a pilgrimage? That's a lot of visitors coming in and out. And yeah, we already have lots of visitors now. So 2 full rows. I might even consider now adding the last one. And then this should make some money. Look at that. 170 coin have been generated last week out of that. So this is really filling our pockets here too. That tavern, look at that. It's closing in on the taxes. Still need a bit more workforce to provide for all of them. I'm also going to continue with another manor house expansion. We're now expanding over here so that we have the symmetry restored again. And also we're going to have a massive expansion in the back here. That is the treasury, right? So this will lead to an increase of 1,500 coin we have, essentially doubling our coffers, which is something we need. It costs me stone. More severe is the planks and the tools, but it should be fine, especially since we want to consume as many planks as possible. Planks also consume the wood. By the way, considering that, I might also have another sawmill now. And do we have them here too? Oh, wait a second. I think my sawmills are full anyway. There are the planks here. There are no planks here being stored, so we definitely should provide that. There you go. Because my sawmills are already full as is. So let's not worry about another sawmill production. This is looking fine, and let's also apply the changes for the tax office. I'm increasing the capacity of that so that we have more tax collectors. As the city is growing, we need more of them. Almost feels like an RTS game with the amount of food that we're cutting away here and with so many workers. Funnily enough, they don't create roads, right, or paths. Otherwise, this would look very chaotic after some time, of course. Improve trading with Davenport. We're going to do this. And I also needed to readjust my trading here a bit because the path was blocked for one of them. We can't have that. Next in line finally is the paver's yard. Let's assign the first 2 people to that. They're going to bring in stone now. And we can now start road paving. Allows me to pave the roads in a certain area. And I would like to start here with the center, of course. So we are basically going ahead and we'll just see how it looks then. This whole inner area I would like to pave right now. And then probably we could continue with the paving just along here towards the manor house. And perhaps towards the bakery here. But I think that's gonna be some work anyway to start with. That inn is going places. 200 coin, and we're making now more out of the tavern than with taxes. Pretty crazy when you think about it like that. Also, the paving has started. It's still all about naked, so we're going to add then, as always, ornaments around that. So, for example, just behind our well here, we could have a nice tree. The treasury expansion was successful, and with that we have now 2,780 coin available in our pockets. With so much money we can really have a lot of these fountains as well. So I would like to have another one now in this area here. Look pretty naked, and it's definitely an area that's pretty central because we have the manor house close by. So I definitely want to have some ornaments here. So we got our nice beautiful fountain that is being built now. That's taking some time as always. These trees are nice, but they're super massive, right? So they take away a lot of space, so I would be very careful how we place them. Let's have one here. There you go. Right, and it can then be, I think it's already functioning as a bench, right? So you don't need to add more benches around that. I'd rather just go with some additional bushes. Now we're selling cheese, but we're really not having a lot of it, so let's check it out again. What's the culprit here? Milk? Oh, yeah, we're not having a lot of milk. Can I improve that here somehow? Do we have anything? Can I still unlock something for the milks, perhaps? No, there are no upgrades for the milk farming, unfortunately. So we do need to have several of these here if I want to make sure that we have enough milk in. I think for the cheesemaker, we would even have room available here. I mean, we got 44 milk in, so perhaps it's really here the culprit. Let's add another cheesemaker. Plenty of workforce we have. And then delighted visitors. Yeah, come in, all of you. Oh, well, look at that. This road is now being used finally. But that one here is not going away so quickly, I think. Doesn't matter. You have some country roads there. That's totally fine. I really don't have much more space. We could have another dairy farm up here. And also up here. Let's do that. Can we purchase this territory? Yes. And I would like to have another dairy farm outside of my town. So the people that are coming visiting from far and wide, well, they're having to go through our farmland first. Just as it should be. Another thing we can do here then is also providing more fencing so that those people are not using any of my farmland really. And the upside is that we use our logs. Can I have a nice wooden fence here? Oh, gate. That's neat. And will you look at that, we get the first tier 3 housing now, high quality housing. by having resident citizens, and paved roads now also fixed. And the last step would be then the high density, high quality housing. That's gonna take a while, because as we can see, we need a lot of resources. In fact, we need something that we don't have yet, and that's glass, another construction material that we need to tackle. Let's check it out real quick. It was somewhere over here. That's the glass smelter, and it needs quartz for that. Let's unlock us the glass worker. Quartz is nothing that we can unlock specifically. I think it's then just part of it, and then we hopefully should see quartz somewhere. So there we have now the new buildings. Alright, so far I haven't found any quartz deposits, so we need to continue prospecting mineral deposits with my bailiff. You can only do one at the same time, so I might also consider expanding my bailiff's office. Hopefully get something out of that. So that we have iron. So these big chunk of rocks, they actually hold something. That's pretty neat, right? For big iron mines then. So far so good, it's coming along. We also now clear more and more areas. I'm pretty confident that next episode we can start with the monastery building itself. I'm going to prospect a bit of more quartz, finishing those dairy farms, and then we continue in the next episode of a beautiful, beautiful foundation. Stay tuned.